What became so popular at your school that the teachers had to ban it? Capri Suns. Kids were too stupid to figure out how to get the straws in, and teachers got tired of helping everyone. That's hilarious and sad. Randomization. People would gather around a vending machine and chant randomize, and the person performing the ceremony would punch the keyboard and get a random snack. Ha. In my high school we just had someone glue a loonie to the floor in front of the machine so everyone would watch random kids try and fail to pick it up. Back in my school days, the string around quarter trick still worked. We tried to keep the secret, well, a secret, but the school found after a couple months and straight up removed the vending machines. Rulers. Year 10th in high school, for whatever reason someone decided to smack a guy across the head with a ruler. Then everyone went out and bought a ruler. Suddenly everyone was a knight with a sword. Staff kept confiscating them, but rulers are cheap, so kids just went out and bought them by the handful. They ended up banning rulers at a school. The kids who were taking geometry that year and needed them had to be assigned rulers at the beginning of class and then turn them back in. If you rub the metal edge of a ruler against the sole of your shoe really fast back and forth, it gets hot enough to seriously burn someone and leave a scar. People bringing in their Game Boy Color and playing during recess. Kids were getting mad they weren't getting turns and they were afraid of someone stealing games. Fucking Jeremy found a copy of Pokemon Silver the day after mine was stolen out of my backpack. Can't get too mad at the kid though. His brother was thrown in jail for murdering their mom about a year after that. Well, this escalated quickly. We are only allowed to have €2 money for bus. If a teacher that even cares caught you, the teacher would be allowed to take the money and keep it. This was changed due to making it a crime. One time a teacher took €75 from a student. Luckily she was forced to give it back. I don't know how they go €2 specifically, but they probably wanted to prevent students from carrying enough money to buy drugs. There was a kid in my high school who made probably around $500 in a month for making duct tape wallets. Administration found out, but didn't ban the wallets, just banned conducting business on school grounds. When I was younger, we played this where you draw a circle on your hand, and other people would try to draw a line inside of it. If someone was able to draw a line in your circle, then you were out. The objective of the game was to be the last one standing. It was small at first, but eventually almost everyone in my grade became involved, and it spiraled out of control. Chaos. Pure fucking chaos. Kids were tackling each other, running away from other students, disrupting lessons, etc. Teachers eventually began to talk to us about how far our game had gone, and started banning it altogether. It was fun, while it lasted, boys. I love how an innocent game can manifest secret societies amongst children. Hair flips. Circa 2003, long skater hair was very trendy. Said kids were flipping their hair out of their eyes/face. An 8th grade history teacher went on a vendetta under the reasoning that hair flips pollute the air with "hair dirt." Kids started getting detentions. The hair flippers discovered that it drove the teacher mad, so they began flipping it consciously to piss her off. She created her own monster. Warheads. It grew to such an issue with these sour candies, kids were organizing a black market where the kids with the highest allowance would buy them in bulk from the corner stores for a nickel each, distribute them to upperclassmen for a quarter each, who would turn around and sell them to the final consumer for 50 cents each candy. There was even a barrier to entry. If you wanted in the business, you would have to eat 3 candies at once and not spit it out or throw up. Legit happened at my school. Some kid was selling warheads from 8th grade till 10th grade. Once that business ran dry, he moved on to jewels, pods, weed, pens, etc. Putting condoms on everything. Pens, people's heads, arms, bags, shoes, smartboard remotes, baseball bats, clocks, balls, literally anything. The best bit was that the school gave out free condoms. They were fueling the opposition. After a week, there was a ban on condoms being out in public. Anyone seen with a condom that wasn't in their bag or blazer was immediately given a detention. In my college there was someone brought in to hand out condoms to people. Over the next few days, Tide condoms filled with water kept appearing across a few of the bathrooms. Rubber bands. Kids weren't even using them to shoot at other kids or otherwise misbehave with them. Kids would buy packs of rubber bands, tie the rubber bands together, making like a big rubber band chain. It became a contest to see who could get a chain of rubber bands to stretch the farthest. You couldn't find a pack of rubber bands at a store for probably 20 miles. This was when I lived in a small town, so there wasn't a ton of stores in that 20 miles. Amazon or even public internet access didn't exist yet. One kid got so many rubber bands, they could stretch it the length of the school building. While stupid, I didn't think it was a bad hobby as kids weren't shooting them or shooting stuff with them. It was all about how big of a chain they could make. School rewarded our pointless creativity with a ban on rubber bands at the school. All rubber band chains were confiscated on site. Sounds like the perfect build up for a senior prank. Rubber band chains blocking all the doors and hallways. Almost like webs crossing the holes between the lockers. Pokemon cards. Pokemon was banned for being popular. Magic was banned for being satanic. I was in middle school from 2009 to 2011. Bloons Tower Defense was huge. Everyone played it in any room that had a computer. The school had to install special blockers, but people kept getting around them, so they straight up banned Adobe Flash. Someone at my high school managed to install Quake 3 Arena onto the central server, so it was able to be accessed by any computer connected to the network. There were kids in my web development class playing against other kids having their study hall and the library on the other side of the school. Not sure if the administration ever found out, but the year after I graduated they changed out all of the Windows computers they had for iMacs. In elementary school my class was divided into groups, penguins and rats. We would always go to our group for team assignments, for games, for anything really. Somehow an actual rivalry started to sprout until the whole school was divided in these two groups, with first and second years getting into actual fights and stuff. Pretty soon the principal cancelled recess for a day and went to each classroom to tell us penguin team and rat team were banned. Others did create some smaller animal named groups after that, but they all dissolved pretty quickly. Grand Theft Education.